What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
In the beginning, Yah created man in his image and after his likeness. But there's a problem. I wasn't there in the creation. Yahushua said in John 14:9, "If you've seen me, you have seen the Father." But I didn't share in the same experience as the disciples in order to know him like they did. They was able to sit down and eat with Yahushua, walk with him, and was taught directly by him. Thomas had it better than me, at least. He was able to touch him. So what is God or Yah like then? To figure this out, I decided to do some research. The first thing I learned was Yah is love. But what is love? After digging into it, I found that there are 5 different love languages. And they are words of affirmation, act of service, giving of gifts, quality time, and touch. I even found that there was a test that you could take to figure out what your love language was. To determine your love language, you was tested on how you would like to receive love by comparing your answer choices. It makes sense that the way you would like to express your love would match the way you would like to receive it. You know the age-old saying, treat others the way you would like to be treated. I found that mine was touch and words of affirmation. All people can express all 5, but more people express mostly 1 or 2. Since we want to know God or Yah, and Yah is love, then what is Yah's love language? How does he want to be loved, and how does he express it? So we are going to go on an adventure into the scripture to figure out Yah's love language. Does he have 1 expression type, or 2, or maybe even all? In order for us to understand biblical or scriptural love, let's take a look at the Hebrew translation of the word. The Hebrew word for love is H158. In the Strong's, it is ahab. It means an expression of love, loving affection, affectionately loving. And both of these could be in a good or bad sense. In the ancient Hebrew lexicon, the action is to give, the concrete meaning is a gift, the abstract meaning is love. Now, this is for the base or the root of the word. The picture graph of the hay represents one who is looking at a great sight with his hands raised, as when saying, "Behold." The bet is a representation of a tent or house. Combined, these pictures mean look towards the house or provide for the family. Some others may say that when they put the 2 Hebrew characters together, they will translate it as the might of one who beholds his house. His face is towards the house, like Abba Yah's face was over the earth in creation. Now for the specific word that we're looking for, ahab, which has the addition of the aleph, the action is to give, the concrete is a gift, and the overall meaning is a giving of someone or something to one who is deserving or to be privileged. Now we see that the Hebraic understanding of love is similar to our modern idea of love with love languages. We also see our first love language mentioned, giving of gifts. So what are some things that Yah has given us? Now that we have a better understanding from the Hebraic sense, let's think about what are some things that Yah has given us. We could do life, Genesis 2:7. The amazing gift that man can ever have, aside from life, is woman, which is in Genesis 2:21 through 25. The blessing and the overall purpose to be fruitful and multiply, the ability to bear children in Genesis 1:28. Now let's look at a couple more major ones. Abba's greatest gift to us is a home, a stable home with him. Let's look at a couple examples. starting in Genesis 2 and 8. And Yahuwah, our Elohim, planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Next, Deuteronomy 4 and 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that you may live and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim of your fathers giveth you. John 14, 2 and 3. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. As we see in these many examples from the garden all the way down to future prophecy of the kingdom coming down from the Shamayim from heaven, the plan is for the Most High to give us a house so that we can dwell there with Him. We see this from Genesis in the garden, when he built the garden that he placed man inside, when he led Israel to cross over into the Jordan so that they can have their own land again. And then they will build their kingdom and they will have their own home and their own house there. It's the same understanding. The Father is constantly trying to build us our own home and our own house, which is one of the greatest gifts that he can give us. A sure house at that. You see, King David understood this, and he wanted to express his love for Yah by building him a house. David had a whole kingdom, but Yah still, at this time, there was no temple. The tabernacle is made out of cloth, not stone, not brick. And here you will see David felt like that wasn't suitable. So in his expression of love, he wanted to do something that would be more befitting of the creator of all things. Let's look at 2 Samuel 7, 1 and 2. And it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and Yah had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, See now I dwell in an house of cedar, but the ark of Elohim dwelleth within curtains. So here's a couple things. One, you see Nathan there, the prophet. If you didn't know, the word for gift is Nathan. The Hebrew word for gift is Nathan. Nathan means gift. So if you know that every king usually has a prophet when it comes to Israel, King David's prophet name is Nathan. Nathan is Yah's gift to King David. And Nathan was a superb prophet. 2 Samuel 7 and 4. And it came to pass that night that the word of Yahuwah came unto Nathan. Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yahuwah, shalt thou build me a house for me to dwell in? You know that expressing your love or giving a gift takes work. It takes work. Expressing your love takes time and work, because you must understand the person you love in order to give them a gift that pleases them. You must know what they like, what they don't like, what their favorite color is, song, food, clothes, etc. You need to know what makes them happy, what makes them sad or angry, what they love and what they hate. Even better, what they need. For you to do that, you must pay attention to them while seeking to understand them. You must pay attention. You must be intrigued by them if you love them. And that takes a lot of work. Yes, love is work or service. Now that we're finished talking about the first great gift he gave us. Let's talk about the next great gift. The greatest gift and expression of Yah's love that he gave us is something many of us desire today. He blessed us with an everlasting covenant which provides us with protection, a homeland, a relationship, and access to him if we choose to keep it. Let's take a look at the details in Genesis chapter 17. Genesis 17:1. And when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, Yahuwah appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make a covenant between me and thee and will multiply thee exceedingly. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed, and after thee, in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their Elohim. But in order for us to have all these things, we must be perfect. So we see here that he gave us a covenant. With it, we gain him as a Elohim, a new name, which we also see in Isaiah 2:17, and we will see it again in Revelations 3:12, a land of our own, a home again, protection, and he blessed us with grace, which means he is supporting us and being fruitful and multiply. But in order for us to have all these things, we must be perfect. And that word for perfect is H8549, tamim. And I want us to hone in on to number 3, which is complete. You see, our idea of perfection, we believe that it's something that is unattainable. But from the Hebraic sense and from our culture and our ancestors, and from the Father's perspective, it is completeness. To be in this word, when he asks of Abraham to come to him and be perfect, he says, come to me and be complete. So if you're desiring to be complete, because we are right now without him, we are incomplete. But if we are desiring to be complete, because only the Father can make us complete, we must come to him, right? That is what the word tamim, the Hebrew word tamim, means. Someone or something that is whole, complete, or full. One who is mature and upright as one who is whole. So a part of being upright is a part of being whole or complete. So if we are upright, whole, and complete, he will keep this everlasting covenant with us, this promise. And if we was to jump down to verse 19, it continues and said that he will keep this covenant with Isaac and his seed after him. That is us. Now, if that isn't love, I don't know what is. All we have to do is keep his covenant by keeping his commandments. We've just finished going over one of the 5 love languages that Yah has expressed throughout the Bible, the giving of gifts. In order for us to grow in our understanding and knowledge of Yah, we will continue to go over the other 4 love languages that we have seen expressed. The next is going to be acts of service. Like, share, and subscribe if this has blessed you. Shalom.
One of the ways that the Most High has blessed me this year is by bringing like-minded individuals into my life that I can pray, read, and fast with. I'm super grateful for all of them. Shout out to FOTW.